Hi guys, today we are going to discuss about arteries and nerves of gluteal region. In previous video we have seen about the muscles of gluteal region. Today we are going to see about the arteries which supply this region. There are three important arteries in the gluteal region, that is superior gluteal artery, inferior gluteal artery, internal pudendal artery. Let us start with the superior gluteal artery. Superior gluteal artery is a branch of posterior division of internal iliac artery. Now this is the internal iliac artery and this is posterior division and anterior division. The superior gluteal artery arises from this posterior division. It enters the gluteal region through the sciatic foramen. Now, after entering, it gives out two branches, that is superficial branch and deep branches. The superficial branch supplies the gluteus maximus and medius, whereas the deep branches takes part in anastomosis. One of the deep branches, the upper deep branch takes part in the formation of spinous anastomosis close to the ASIS, that is anterior superior iliac spine, and the lower branch takes part in the formation of trochanteric anastomosis, which you can see it over here, and this is the trochanteric anastomosis. Let us move on to inferior gluteal artery. The inferior gluteal artery arises from the anterior division of internal iliac artery. This is the anterior division, and this is the inferior gluteal artery. The inferior gluteal artery enters the gluteal region through the sciatic foramen. Now, what is this sciatic foramen?
The greater sciatic foramen is the opening in the posterior human pelvis. It is formed by the sacrotuberous and sacrospinous ligaments. The piriformis muscle passes through the foramen. The greater sciatic foramen is wider in women than men. All the arteries and nerves of the gluteal region enter the gluteal region through the greater sciatic foramen and leaves it through the lesser sciatic foramen. The lesser sciatic foramen is represented by the red mark and the greater sciatic foramen is represented by the blue mark.
Let us see the branches of inferior gluteal artery. It mainly gives out three branches. That is, first one is the muscular branches to the adjacent muscles and anastomic branches. That is, these are the anastomic branches which anastomoses with the branches of superior gluteal artery. Here is the trochanteric anastomosis and the cruciate anastomosis. And the third branch is the artery to the sciatic nerve. Now this is a simplified diagram of both the arteries. This is just for understanding the branches, and actually it looks like this, but this is just for understanding. Now this is the internal iliac artery. It has two parts, that is posterior part and anterior part. The posterior part gives out superior gluteal artery, whereas the anterior part gives out the inferior gluteal artery. Both these arteries enters the gluteal region through the sciatic foramen. Now let us come to the superior gluteal artery. It further gives two branches, that is the superficial branch and the deep branch. And this deep branch further divides into two branches, that is lower and upper branches, which takes part in trochanteric and spinous anastomosis. On the other side, the anterior division gives out inferior gluteal artery. The inferior gluteal artery gives out three branches. Those are the muscular branches, anastomic branches, and nerve to the sciatic nerve. Artery to the sciatic nerve. You can get this simplified diagram in our Telegram channel also. Now let us move on to the nerves of the gluteal region. There are 8 important nerves in the gluteal region. Those are superior gluteal nerve, inferior gluteal nerve, sciatic nerve, posterior cutaneous nerve of thigh, nerve to quadratus femoris, pudendal nerve, nerve to obturator internus.
Let us start with the superior gluteal nerve. It arises from the sacral plexus in the pelvis and is formed by the dorsal branches of ventral rami of L4, L5, S1. It enters the gluteal region through the greater sciatic notch above the piriformis in company with the superior gluteal artery. Superior gluteal nerve and inferior gluteal nerve are the exceptions in this case, as they enter through greater sciatic notch instead of greater sciatic foramen. All the other arteries and nerves of the gluteal region enter through the greater sciatic foramen. Sciatic nerve. Sciatic nerve enters the gluteal region through the greater sciatic foramen below the piriformis. All the muscles of the back of the thigh, that is the hamstring muscles, muscles of all compartment of the leg, and the muscles of dorsum and the sole of the foot are supplied by sciatic nerve. This image shows the greater sciatic notch.
Posterior cutaneous nerve of the thigh. When we hear the name cutaneous nerve, it means it supplies only the skin. This is a simplified diagram of the nerve. The nerve arises from the dorsal divisions of ventral rami of S1, S2, S3 of the sacral plexus and enters the gluteal region through the sciatic foramen below the piriformis muscles. And it gives us two branches, that is superficial branches, which supplies a skin of scrotum and a skin of posterior inferior quadrant of gluteal region. Next is the nerve to quadratus femoris. It arises from the ventral divisions of the ventral rami of L4, L5 and S1. It enters the gluteal region through the sciatic foramen below the piriformis and runs downwards deep to the sciatic nerve. It supplies inferior gemellus and quadratus femoris. Pudendal nerve. The pudendal nerve enters the gluteal region just to leave it, which means it does not supply any muscles or nor it supplies any arteries or veins in gluteal region. It arises from the ventral rami of S2, S3, S4 of sacral plexus through the sciatic foramen, greater sciatic foramen, and leaves the gluteal region through the inferior sciatic foramen. This is the nerve to obturator femoris. The nerve arises from the ventral rami of L5, S1, S2 of the sacral plexus. It enters the gluteal region through the greater sciatic foramen and leaves it through the inferior sciatic foramen. While living, it supplies the gemellus superior and. Let us move to the clinical aspect. This is a normal walking gait. Acting from below, both the gluteus medius and minimus prevent the unsupported side of the pelvis from sagging during walking and thus maintain the horizontal level of the pelvis, provided the hip joint and the neck shaft angle of the femur are normal. When a person walks, the unsupported side is counterbalanced by the supported side. Let us see the Trendelenburg sign. When the gluteus medius and minimus of one side are paralyzed due to injury of the superior gluteal nerve, the pelvis sags on the LT side if the foot is off the ground. As in this case, the muscles are paralyzed on the left side. As a result, the LT side, that is the right side, sags down when the person walks. The horizontal level is not maintained in this case. This is known as Trendelenburg sign.
The gluteal region is one of the commonest sites of intramuscular injections of drugs. It is given in the upper and outer quadrant of the gluteal region in the gluteus medius muscle. If given randomly in the lower part, it may damage the sciatic nerve. Another clinical condition is the piriformis syndrome. It is characterized by the pain in buttock due to the compression of sciatic nerve by the piriformis. It commonly occurs in sports that require excessive use of gluteal region or gluteal muscles like ice skaters and cyclists. Thank you. This is an Ignited Medico signing off.